welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside head coach Brooks Monaghan, and coach already off to a 1-0 record. Your season has already begun. Nice 2-1 win at Alabama the other night, and so good to get a road win to start things off.
Yeah, it's always good to get a win is win, and on the road it obviously, usually is tougher, so we'll take it, and against a quality opponent.
It's one of those games, too, that I know you were happy to see, not initially how it started out, but when you look back on it now, because there are high expectations again here for women's soccer this year, that you got behind the 8 ball pretty quick, and with a younger team, things could have unraveled really quickly. You get the hard red card, I believe, around 15 minutes into the ball game, so you're going to be down to just 10 players the rest of the way, and the PK makes it 1-0, so your back's against the wall, but your team just starts to plug away, and they come back and get the tie ball game. They even it out, and then you're able to really concentrate on things, and you come out with a 2-1 win.
Yeah, you can't train for what happened. You can't prepare for what happened. So, and there's, going into the game anyway, there was a lot of unknown because we'd been missing some kids due to the World Cup and sitting a few of the players out that hadn't. So, I wasn't 100% sure until you never are until you play against an opponent, and obviously Alabama being a quality opponent. But the game kicked off for 15 minutes. I was very pleased with where we were at, how we were playing, and then boom, the red card happens. It changes everything. It changes everything. You've got some decisions to make, right away. Obviously, we go down 1-0, and to be able to come back and win that game after being not only down a goal, but down, a man. It doesn't happen too often.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen. So it just showed a ton of character in this group of girls. And, it's a game that's, throughout a season you're going to have highs and lows. And, it's something that we can always go back to this game in hard times and say, girls, listen, you've done this, you can do it now, So it's a game I'll never forget, and this is my 15th year, and it was one of the craziest games I've been a part of, and like I said, one that I'll never forget.
And it's good for this team because this team, the last couple of years, you've had some young players, and you can see this year they're going to be able to handle some adversity. Not that you've not had bad teams the last few years, but I know your expectations are. This is the program that you want to be in the NCAA.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you know that. We've been doing this show for a while, and yes, the expectation here is to be in the national tournament at the end, and you've got to have everything. You've got to have talent. You've got to have the right character, and obviously it was one game, but that first game that I saw, I was very pleased in a lot of areas.
You mentioned the World Cup a little bit earlier. Kylie Davis, Val Sanderson on the Canadian U20 squad this year, and this program is the recruiting and the caliber athlete you've brought in here. This is something you've dealt with. It's not really a deal with. It's great to have good enough players that are making their national teams.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it puts you in a situation when they're playing their games. You're rooting for your kids, but you're kind of like, man, I want these kids back. So it's kind of weird, because you don't want to see your kids lose, but. With those two this year, with them missing like preseason, I mean they're returners.
Yeah.
It was an easy transition for them. It's something that we'll continue to deal with the players we have. It's obviously an honor for these kids to play for their country. I support it 100%, but we are very happy to have them back, and they were key players in the game the other night.
Look at Kylie and Val. They were preseason all-conference along with Diamond Simpson this year.
Yeah, I mean, well-deserved. I mean, all three of those kids are extremely talented players. I mean, Val scored both the goals in the game against Alabama. And, hopefully we'll have more. I'm biased. I think we should have more on the list. But hopefully by the end of the season, we do have other kids that get awards.
Your preseason third in a very tough American Conference. Probably going to put multiple bids out to the NCAA, and it's a little bit of a change this year. You're still in the American, but a little bit of a transition. Some of the teams that have left, and you got some familiar faces back playing on your conference schedule.
Yeah, no. Obviously, Louisville and Rutgers are out, and East Carolina and Tulsa are in. East Carolina and Tulsa, they're two quality programs. But, preseason rankings, let's be honest, they don't matter. They don't matter. If you're not picked first, you might as well be picked last. It doesn't really matter. But, it's nice to know that, it shows you're respected if you're picked third. But that's not our goal. Our goal is to win. it's a very competitive conference. There's multiple teams, 5, 6, 7, 8 in my eyes that could win, that could finish first. But I think we are. You mentioned it earlier in regards to everybody's goal is to get into the NCAA. I think we're a multiple team bid. Hopefully we can get 3 or 4 in. Last year we got 3. Hopefully we can grow that this year.
Coach, tonight at Mike Rose, you're playing Lipscomb, your home opener. Talk about Lipscomb.
Yeah, we've never played them here. I know the coach pretty well. He does a great job. I know they'll be very organized. This will be a big game for them, and we'll see. This is a true test for our kids after coming off the emotional game the other night. I mean, how will we bounce back? Usually the format is Friday, Sunday. It's very similar. It's just Sunday, Tuesday. It's our home opener. I'm expecting a lot of energy from our kids and to carry over from the way we left off, our first game.
This is going to be a game you mentioned. You don't want the emotion of the other night to carry over to your first home match and the good teams. You look back on that run you had when the 5 straight championships, the NCAA tournaments, as those teams. I know it's cliche, but they did a very good job of playing the Alabama game,
right?
Then playing the Lipscomb game, not playing the Alabama game, and then letting that roll over into another week.
That's it. Alabama is over with. As I said, we can use bits. You can use bits and pieces from every game. Moving forward. But Alabama's done. Our focus is all on Lipscomb, and then after that game, win, lose, or draw, then you focus on the next. But that's very, very key. Is keeping your players focused one game at a time.
In your scout of Lipscomb, what style do you see out of this team?
Yeah, no, they try to play, which they try. When I say that, they're a possession-oriented team, kind of like us. They've got some key players that can cause you problems. I know, again, defensively, they're very well organized, so I expect a great game.
You're going to turn around back at home Sunday evening, 6 o'clock against Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Again, another SEC opponent. I mean, that's all you have to say, SEC, because SEC soccer is very good, and we'll have to be at our best to give ourselves a chance to win. So right. two tough opponents. We don't have an easy game.
Yeah,
there are no easy games. I don't believe in easy games, and I mean there may be teams that people are more familiar with their names, but all the soccer teams we're playing this year are good.
Sounds good, Coach. Good luck tonight. Good luck Sunday.
Thanks.
Head Coach Brooks Monaghan. I'm Jeff Brightwell. This is the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.